I'm going to put that in the video.
Man, you just spit on my floor.
What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Williamson, and this is
Boh.
And welcome to
The Cheese.
And we are going to do our prediction of Anthony Joshua and Ruiz 2.
Two.
Yeah, so here we go. Before we get started, please comment, subscribe, comment down below. All right, so here we go. So, what do you think?
I'm actually excited.
I'm actually excited too. I'm not excited for it to be
excited
on
too?
it. Yes.
Too?
I'm not excited for it to be on at 11 o'clock in the morning. No.
I don't know exactly what time it's on at, but I think it's like some weird time like that anyways. I don't know.
Because it's in
Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's just kind of an odd place to fight, but I mean, they must got something worked out there, right?
With the sheiks?
I don't know. I'd be kind of nervous to go down there.
No, Abu Dhabi is pretty, what do you call it?
After a
Popular
couple
place.
beers, I'm bound to break a couple rules. Even a rule I don't know about or something, right?
Yeah, I'll have to look at people the wrong way.
But it's like that. It's such a underdog story, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty amazing, When I first looked at one, I thought like everybody else, and I'm usually pretty good at guessing these boxing wins and stuff. On that one, I was like everybody else. I thought he would just beat this guy and it'd be no problem and be over.
Because he came in as an underdog. He came in as...
I didn't know him before. I actually thought it was John Ruiz's son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you remember John Ruiz there?
Oh, no.
I thought it was son. But even like today, like I don't really follow boxing as much as I used to. What do you call it? UFC's taken over such a big chunk of everything, and it's a little harder to keep on track for all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of different types of combat sport organizations out there.
Who do you think? Who do you see yourself going for in that one?
It's as I get older, I don't root for fighters the way I used to.
You're just hoping for
I
a
always
good
wanted to
fight.
Yeah, because they have too many shows now. Little reality shows that show one side training, the other guy training, and yeah, sure, they show like the press conferences. They're hyping the fight, and then some guy seems like an asshole playing the heel, and the other guy is like more quieter, or sometimes they're both the heel.
Well, this part 2 definitely seems like it's got a lot of hype around it. Right?
Yeah, if 100% it does.
I don't know how much money Ruiz made in the first fight, but I guarantee he's going to make a lot more in this one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Who do you like better?
That's the thing is that they both seem like they're both pretty good guys.
Yeah,
you
they
know
both
what I mean?
seem
Like,
pretty good. I like Ruiz better, though. He seems a lot more just a happy, friendly...
Well, we're talking about, he's not as serious as Anthony Joshua.
And the ads he does with the Snickers and stuff.
Yeah, he's goofier. He doesn't take things as serious. And
doesn't seem to.
But I'm sure all in the gym, it's all a different story, right? So he didn't get to where he is.
It's your classic David and Goliath, too, right?
Mm-hmm. But he's had a classic David and Goliath story since he started fighting.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. He's always faced those type of people. And how much does he weigh? 270 close
268, yeah.
I don't know what he's going to weigh in on this one. I don't know what he weighed in on the last one.
Yeah, he might be... I don't know. I didn't look into that too much, but a lot of times there's always like new tabloids saying... Oh, look at now he's shredded. He's lost so much weight, and then, it's just so you can watch it.
It seems
right?
like he must have lost a lot of weight at one time, anyways, because he's got a lot of
he's
a
loose, saggy.
Lots of
It's not like
there.
a fat it doesn't stick straight out. It all kind of sags down like he was on keto for a few weeks.
What's his name? Built pretty solid, eh?
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
You figured you'd be good with that name.
Yeah, I keep calling him Anthony Johnson. But I don't know, the older I get, the more I fuck up people's names.
Joshua Andy.
That's what I'm going
to start calling you. Do you see then winning
It's so hard. Like, it's a very psychological match, I think.
My brain says Joshua, and that's where my money is at too as well. Is I'd probably if I were to give a prediction right off the bat before we go no further, I'd say Joshua in the 8th. That's just something my mind made up there. But once bitten, twice shy. I don't know if I'm using the right metaphor here, or whatever. But he's always going to have that, like a big brother. Or there's someone that beat you before, right? He has that stuck in his head that he could get hit by this guy, he could get hurt by this guy. So he might have that little bit of nervousness, right?
Because he's never been in that kind of trouble before.
Yeah.
And he could not win the third round, right? Third round of the last fight is when he got dropped for the first time, and his legs never really got back under him. Well, they did. They did. They kept saying that he didn't, but maybe they weren't fully recovered, but at least he started to get his rhythm again for a few rounds.
And that Ruiz, he's pretty quick with his hands for a fat guy.
Yeah, he is. He knows how to close the distance quick.
And he seems like he doesn't, his stamina is up there. And I'm sure he's been training extra hard for this fight, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's been working
extra.
He's got the motivation. Yeah, that's true too. And there was all that discussion before on Ruiz and Joshua won, that going into that fight that Joshua had training issues and was too stressed and was worked too hard.
KO'd.
Whatever problems they made up. Sounds like excuses.
But it always seems like excuses. They never want to go into that, because if you go into a fight with a sickness, or you go in being KO'd or having any problems like that, then it really fucks with the Vegas odds and stuff like that too. So they don't want to do that.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see Ruiz is where my heart is. It's such a underdog story, and I see him run around the ring after he won there. He's
jumping around on the trampoline like a fat kid.
Happy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just he's who I'd like to win, but my brain says it's still Joshua. He's the better fighter. He's got the reach. He's got the height. But Joshua's a pretty stiff and square kind of guy too, though, right? It seems,
he's your very typical long range fighter.
I haven't watched Ruiz before. I followed a couple of Joshua's fights, and he beat
Ruiz. I never heard of him before this.
He beat Klitschko there, and like you were saying about Klitschko's, it was kind of at the end of his time and stuff. But still, that's a pretty monumental win. And now Joshua's only fought in England there. I mean Britain, right?
Right.
And that was his first time fighting outside of Britain. Was in the States there. So he's got a lot of fan support. I don't know what it's going to look like as far as fans in Saudi Arabia. I don't know what that's going to look like or what it's going to be like.
I don't know what ticket prices are for that.
I have
from Britain.
We should check that out and maybe book a flight.
Yeah.
Live from It's the Cheese in Saudi Arabia. We'll be wearing those things and stuff. And I don't want to offend anybody here.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're called,
when you're in the right place at the right time, we'd be doing it with love. So supporting. But do you think there's going to be a lot of Mexicans there?
I don't know, but I know
a lot of Americans.
I know that a lot of people, Mexicans, are going to be watching it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's the first heavyweight champion of Mexican descent. I think is how it's said.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be interesting. It'll be a good fight, and that's my prediction. Is I have to stick with something, right? I'll say Joshua in the 8th.
Joshua in the 8th.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm still rooting for Ruiz to win.
I actually think
that's who I'm cheering for.
I think Ruiz is going to win anyways.
Yeah,
I do, because I don't see it the same way as everybody else did.
You think it's going to go the distance?
I think the first fight went the way it did because Ruiz is a better fighter.
I
think he's a quicker fighter. I think he's got, I think he was more relaxed in the fight. I think he's been dealing with bigger fighters his entire career. I just didn't think, and if you look at it from the other way, yeah, sure, he fought Klitschko, and Anthony Joshua did. But, other than that, I didn't recognize too many names on that list.
Yeah.
And so I think that, but then I looked at Andy's as well, and I didn't recognize too many names either. But Andy actually has more experience.
So what round would you say then, or do you think it's going to go the distance there then?
I don't think it's going to go the distance. I think he actually will knock him out. I think it's going to be lucky number 7 again.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think he knocks him out in 7.
Okay.
A TKO.
The way I seen that though is he got hit with an unlucky punch. Joshua did, and he never recovered from that. That's pretty much obvious on everybody's the way they seen that fight. But that's who I got. And what about after that? Who do you see the winner of that fighting?
Well, before I answer that, I want to say that my prediction is for Andy to win in the 7th round by TKO. But I also think that how he's going to win is going to be by pressure. Lots and lots of pressure. Yeah. He's going to have to keep coming forward. He's going to keep closing that distance.
And you've seen him get hit hard.
Yeah. Like he the first one they got hit, he fucking he was
arms all twisted behind him and stuff. And
he knew he was in a fight. But it seemed like as soon as he knew he was in a fight, he's like, oh, okay. And he switched gears.
I went accordingly. He went into gonna get my ass kicked mode.
But the other way around is Anthony Joshua, what he has to do. He needs to keep his distance, and he needs to stay at the end of his punches, or keep Andy at the end of his punches, and utilize that jab. He should not be coming forwards at all. He should be going backwards and jab, 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 and setting him up for the big punch. And then if he does that, then he'll beat Andy. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think Andy is going to keep closing the distance, being as quick as he is, and he's going to TKO him. And then what's going to be next after that? Yeah. That's I guess this should be for me. I would like to see the winner of this go against Wilder.
Yeah.
But we need to. Fury needs to be in there too.
He's probably number one opponent, right? And, I have. I don't know. Out against those two, I'd probably go with Wilder, right?
Wilder is just a machine. He's just like a whole nother story.
And
we could do a whole nother video
too. Like
bigger than them, longer reach by 1 inch.
Ruiz, and then Wilder would still is a little taller than.
We got Fury at the top.
The Gypsy King.
Yeah, the Gypsy King is way at the top at like 6'9", and then we got 1 inch down. Yeah, she's only 1 inch difference.
But I mean, both those guys, Fury and Ruiz, they don't look like they don't have the typical boxing.
But imagine them boxing each other. Holy shit! Now that's David versus Goliath right there.
I'd rather watch that, or rather the Gypsy King versus fucking Ruiz. That would be.
I would love that fight too. Actually,
it would be funny.
They have the same kind of like even their press conferences would be actually funny, because they would probably eat Snickers together.
Eat Snickers together.
Yeah, I think they would.
And then to see Wilder and Joshua, but you know what? Maybe Joshua's a fucking broken egg carton, or whatever you call it there. Maybe he's, maybe that's the shot that he never comes back from. Maybe that's the end of his career right there. But I mean, there's
with one shot.
Whatever, who knows how long this is building up, or where he got it from, or what straw broke his brain.
It really comes. Yeah, it could be a sparring too, right? Some people don't. They don't. A lot of them don't spar with headgear on, and they're taking shots day after day.
I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? That's
well, if Anthony wins on Saturday, then he should get a crack at Deontay. All right, so those are our predictions. We're going to end the video right here. If you like this video, leave a like right now. And if you guys have not subscribed, subscribe.
I wish I had a Snickers bar right now with me. Go Ruiz!
If you guys don't know, subscribe right now. I want to see you guys in that comment section. You guys are going to see us in our next video. Take care, everybody. Love y'all.
Bye.
Peace.
Ting ting.